We're live.
I'm going to share the link on my Facebook as well.
You can't see my tab, can you?
No, just what do we call it? Sitting shot a minute.
Yeah.
Just move your chair a little bit over.
This way,
yeah. Yeah, cool. Yeah, we've got 2 people watching already. One did a like, so thank you for joining us. I know it's super delayed, but we were trying to set up the set and multiple things, to be honest, to get ready for this shot and get ready for this show. So we've got a new guest joining us today. As you can see, picture in picture. I'm gonna let him have his own screen so he can introduce himself. There you go. If you'd like to just introduce yourself to the show.
Hi guys, I'm Azz Mohammed and I'm a friend of Clinton's. I work in TV. What else can I say? I'm here.
Yeah, wicked.
He's doing bits.
Let's bring it on to Jordan. Jordan, how you been, man?
I'm all good. Just finished working from home. I know a lot of people are probably working from home and they'll probably be able to talk on how stressful it can be sometimes. It's not the same as working in office when you're communicating with other people, but that's it, pushing through it, getting through it together, and then now I've come to do this podcast.
Yeah, wicked. So Azz, I'm going to start off with you, man. I've got a few questions that we'd like to ask you, so I'm just going to jump straight in. Let's go straight. Tell us what you do. What do you do? Tell us something about you.
What I do, I work in TV. Have done for quite a while now. I used to work in sales, would you believe?
Sales?
Probably why I picked up all this chitty chat that I started to do in TV programs and stuff like that. But yeah, I work in TV. I've done that for quite a while now. I started in production, kind of in between, juggling between the two. Did a bit of acting. Did some acting with you actually, Clint, if you remember.
Yeah, you did.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do that right now. I currently work at Chef Live. I report, TV present. I've done a show previously. That's there will be another one coming.
Okay.
And I also I keep looking at you guys. That's a TV trick. I should avoid that. I should talk to you. So I do that. Obviously, since this crazy lockdown, I started doing my own little thing. Get my own little camera kit and start filming and using the techniques that I've learned over the years in TV and film.
How long have you been in TV? For anyone who's watching who's new to it, how long have you been doing TV?
Ooh, if you're new to it, I mean, it's tough, but stick to it. Because if you're good at it...
But how long have you been doing it?
I've been doing it since, let's say, I went to college to study in 2009, 9, yeah. And then I really got involved in it, I'd say 2013.
Okay.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who's trying to get into TV? I'm going to jump straight into it and get there.
Fire away. Okay, what advice would I give to somebody who's wanting to get involved in TV? First of all, how much if they've never done anything before?
Well, just imagine you talking to someone. They said, "Look, I've heard that you do a bit of TV before. Like I've heard you do Sheffield Live. You've done some acting. You even worked behind camera before. Like I'm interested in doing something." What would you say after that?
Usually we do get asked that, get me in. But no, on a serious note, apart from the get me in movements. The bottom line is this, you've got to stick to it. It is about networking, it is about people, but it's also about what you can bring to the table. There's no point saying, oh, I want to be in TV, or I can do this, and then you sit down to it and you can't do it. If you've got some of that experience, you've got some of that editing skills or camera work, if you want to go down that field, or production, then I suggest looking at avenues and working on shorts, films, work as a runner if you have to get involved in it, build yourself up.
What is a runner for someone who's never been involved in TV? What does a runner do?
A runner is actually, to be honest, is the really hard working
Could finger a couple of things, but yeah, go on.
Let's keep it PG.
I know you're thinking about it.
A runner basically is the person that essentially keeps everything moving. So is the person who is assigned the task to get something for somebody, to bring this, to have the crew brought in, the person who's always at hand to get everything involved, everyone involved, bring cast to the scene, things for the cameramen, requirements, and the key thing is, yes, it is at the bottom of the whole production unit, but it's essential. It's definitely, because the beauty of it is you can learn a lot and you can look at the avenues you want to go into. So whether you want to go down a camera route directly, the AD route, sound route, whatsoever, because you get a bit of everything. And And that's key. So you pick that up and it gives you the real experience. All being said, it's not easy being a runner and it's not easy to get into. And so once again, you need to really, really get involved in it and put your mind to it. And after that, you build your way up, really. It's like that. If you want to go down that route.
You got any questions on running?
I'm running. Make sure you got a coat. No, I'm joking.
Actually, yeah, make sure you've got a coat.
Yeah.
It's important. You are outside shooting as well sometimes. But you see, I'm saying all of this if you want to go down the production route. Now, if you want to be an actor or a presenter, it's slightly different.
What advice would you give anyone who's trying to get into acting? Like, and obviously I know I've done a bit of acting stuff.
You know more than me, obviously.
No. I mean, I'm always an open book, to be honest, and that's the best way to be.
Well,
we've acted together on a TV commercial, and we also done like student films, which is a good avenue for people, I believe, to get into. Look on Star Now. Star Now is actually like a website you can go on, and you can pay a subscription service, which is a bit of a thief, to be honest.
Yeah.
Or you can get the freebie, and on the freebie one you'll get like students, obviously not so much now during lockdown, who offer you films and stuff, and you can go directly to them and be like, it's voluntary. You probably get like fed for it there, you might get a bit of travel expenses.
But I think the key here, and I'm sure you'll agree, is try and avoid paying into these kind of services, and companies and people will try to lure you in with a fee or something. Avoid it. There is ways and avenues you can go down the free route. But if you do want to be an actor or presenter, the key thing is, first of all, get yourself onto short films or little films, do freebies like Clint said, and then eventually, you don't need it, but it helps quite a bit. Get an agent. It helps.
How would you get an agent?
How would you get an agent? First of all, you need something. You need to show that you've got something, and then contact an agent through. There's various ways online. You can just type in agent for actors in the north or in the south and so forth, and you can get some. But it's worth noting that you pick the right agent and they take the right amount off you, because some agents will cut you quite a bit. Various ways online. You can just type in agent. And I don't know what he's doing. He's doing something there. Clint, explain.
No. So what I'm doing is I've got dual screen at the moment. I'm trying to share the link, but obviously at the moment, because obviously I'm speaking to you and I'm using one of my phones as a camera. Usually Jordan knows what it's like. We usually share the website before we go on all the social media. Because obviously at the moment I'm using a camera to obviously film you. Right now, like this camera is the camera what's shooting us right now. That's my phone camera. It's a free app called Epoch Cam, which is really good, to be honest. And that there is what I'm using to shoot as, but I can't share it on social media, so I'll use my second screen to open up Facebook and try and share it. Jordan knows what it's like. Have you shared it, Jordan?
Yeah, I've shared it on my Facebook. I need to share it on my Instagram. In fact, it should be alright on Facebook, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, tell us something as well.
On Instagram or Facebook.
Little bit of advice. You tell he's lying because he's scratching his head there when he's speaking. But yeah, so worth noting these tricks. What were you saying?
No, it's not looking like
that.
When eyes are going side to side.
Well, he will share, of course he will.
Tell us that we've got a topic there on the screen that says working as an assistant director on a production. Tell us you've worked before as an assistant director on a production. Tell us what is it like working as assistant director, and tell us about some experiences you've had and like the kind of like actors you've worked alongside.
First of all, obviously, to work as an AD, once the honeymoon period kind of expires, because at the start you're very excited and you're all doing all that camera-y stuff, even though everyone tells you to put your phones away, you don't record anything, everyone does it, let's be honest.
I tell you, I've got a funny story to tell, man. I just got into acting. I was doing face models, and they're like an acting agent in Leeds. Shout out to Vicky if you ever watch it. She's a lovely person. She runs the actual thing, and she goes, "Oh, I've got your Hollyoaks, a speaking part on Hollyoaks. Do you get me? I'm gonna put you on picture so people can see your reaction." Yeah, so I've got a speaking part on Hollyoaks, yeah, and they were like a PC officer, PC Summit Groves. And I had like one line, fam. And I was like preparing for this line for about 10 minutes. Saying it over and over in mirror. It was like literally one line. Yeah. Anyway,
I can't forget it, goddammit.
I've literally done this line, yeah. It was so easy, this line. Anyway, that went at the end of it. As soon as I've done this line, fam, text me outside, it was like he's shot in the hospital. Yeah. They've left me outside in uniform, I've got this truncheon, I've got a pair of handcuffs, I've got a few things. So I get my phone out and I'm like, puts it on timer, and I start taking myself loads and loads of video shots and shots. Yeah, well, literally, as soon as I left set, I posted it on Instagram. I didn't even leave the set like 5 minutes, fam. I got a phone call. Brr, brr. Hello? Clinton, it's Zoe. She like assistant manager.
And then all of a sudden you just envisage Sir Alan Sugar.
Exactly that. Yo. Literally, she's gonna, have you posted on social media? I was like, yeah. She's like, take it down, nah. Yo, and then she went, you're blacklisted, they won't have you back on for at least a year.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Wap, wap, wap.
Yeah.
But that's something you don't do. So take that bit of advice and experience from Clinton there. Something you never do. I know everyone always wants, especially in a time like this like today as well, because people want to show what they're doing, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And to be quite honest, people do get the odd cheeky bit in, but you've got to be careful not to get the actual production in until something's gone out. What I tend to do is something, I'll put something that's out of like what's being filmed, and then if I am in something, I'll post it once it's run. So once it's gone out on air, on TV or whatever.
Yeah,
I remember doing
because it's not been aired.
Yeah.
And I remember doing speaking of one-liners, it was hilarious. I remember doing something a long time ago. This was like 2011, 12, I think. I was doing Fresh Meat. It was a program on channel.
That sounds proper promiscuous.
Yeah.
It's actually quite a good program if you're into that sort of stuff. In between is that
Not
sort
Fresh
of
Meat.
But yeah, I remember doing that, and I had this at the start. At least you had to prepare for it. So we were kind of just. I was told I'd be a geology student. I didn't get told anything. Just a point role, geology student. I was like, fine, yeah, getting paid, nice. I'm on the set. They managed to see a few of the actors and whatnot, Jack Whitehall and all the characters that are in it. And then eventually, one of the directors goes, right, you. Yeah, call me you. There was a name.
Yeah.
That's how important it was.
You. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be doing a line for us to kind of end the program. Pretty much end it. It's like, yeah, I'm so excited. I was, oh my god, I'm going to speak. You know, wow, this has been the moment I've been waiting for forever, and that sort of thing. And then they gave me the line, and they gave me this one line, and it, like you said, Clint, it was one line, and all of a sudden that line looked like a whole page.
Bam.
Hardest thing I've ever tried.
I was like, I'm ready. Are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. Camera went on.
Frogging frog.
Tell us though, did you hammer the line? Did you actually kill the line though?
No. After about 5 takes, I think we got it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that it's probably going to call me back, to be quite honest. But yeah, I did get it. They gave me a cigarette. They were right, so I don't smoke. They were like, yeah, it's herbal. I was like, what? It's a herbal cigarette. I said, okay, so he gave me the cigarette. As soon as I had that, I'm thinking about cigarette. When it gets to the line, I'm like, and the line was like, pass me the ashtray or something.
Yeah.
That was it. You know, pretty easy. Pass me ashtray. You know, that's it. Well, all of a sudden it took ages, but eventually we did it, and it went out. But when I watch it back now, it looks great, and it's like, yeah. Wow.
It's all experience. It's
Yeah,
something
it's
that's
It's all experience.
And if you want to see it, it's episode 2 on Fresh Meat, season 1. Is it season 1? I think it's season
Man knows them thing there.
Yeah, you always got to know what you've been on. To an extent, some of the stuff I forget. Sometimes I remember. I mean, earlier on, you just reminded me. We said Coronation Street.
Yeah.
We'll get onto that topic in a bit. I'll let you guys kind of ask that one, and then because you kind of forget the more stuff you do, you just kind of think. And then
Like, do you know with like the acting and like things in like camera? Have you ever thought like? Have you ever like studied like theatre and like studied like acting from genuine when acting first started? Because acting weren't always there. It's something that started. And
for me, I'll be honest with you. As a child, I always wanted to be a presenter, right?
Yeah. Like
I didn't have the
TV
bottle
presenter.
for it. No,
Yeah.
I was one of the most shy people around, especially at school, growing up and that sort of stuff. And but yeah, I did want to be a presenter. I was watching CBC and that sort of stuff. You know, Blue Pizza. Oh, imagine being on that.
Yeah.
Finally get that Blue Pizza badge or whatnot. But no, I never wanted to go. To be honest, I never really looked at going into acting. I'll be honest with you. It just kind of happened.
More like presented stuff. Or
No, nothing as such. And then theatre, no, I've never really been fond of theatre. I know, Clint, you did some theatre, didn't you?
I've worked on theatre twice. I've done Sheffield Camelot and Sheffield People's Theatre, which is like, they're both voluntary to be honest, so don't actually look at me like I'm smashing it in like some big Broadway show. You get me?
He's
But, like,
made it.
yeah, serious. Literally, but to me, I believe you can't, like Brennan used to say all the time, experience is something you can't pretend, beg or borrow. It's something you've got to attain via going through these roles and getting that experience on a set or on a stage and going through them trials and tribulations. But I've done Camelot and I've done Sheffield Crucible, and I will put some pictures and some links underneath this on my Facebook after for people to see. But let's jump on the question for you, Az, man. You've done. People will probably say, I've seen his face before. I've seen his ugly mug somewhere. Where is it? It's on it's Sheffield Live. Tell us about Sheffield Live TV.
Sheffield Live. Well, I'll tell you how I came about getting on it. First of all, I was at the time doing Coronation Street. I was working as an AD. I was doing third assistant director on Coronation Street. And obviously, I wanted to be presenter. I always wanted to kind of be. I didn't really care about being in front. I just wanted to be a presenter, just kind of do something, speak and do things. So I was like, yeah, fine. I saw the job opportunity come about. I went there. I actually took the chance. And here's something: take the chance. Go. You might get it.
Any opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. I went there. I said, look, I can do this. I can do that. They went, okay. Come do a day. See how you get on, and then we'll take it from there. I mean, if you're good, or keep you. If you're not, you take to sling your hook. I went there, did it pretty much.
Yeah.
I went there, did it, and I did all right. I did mess up an edit though at the start, but obviously it was forgiven. But the presenting, I went and did that. I did okay. When I watched that, I've seen it. I've actually seen one of my shows that I did the first ever time. Oh my God! God forbid, may that never ever come out. It was so embarrassing. And I look back on it now, like seriously, like. Because you're supposed to read like an auto cue, especially if you're presenting like a news kind of thing. And if you've never done it, boy, like
it's the only way of learning.
It is the only way of learning, right? But like I could just see myself like, and like I'm literally just my eyes are like it's so embarrassing. Like and I went there, and the first few times, and obviously I got the job by the way. They kind of liked me for some reason. But yeah, no, I got the job, and the first few times I used to go in an hour early, just sit there and go through it, and still
early or late.
And these days, I roll in with like 30 seconds. Like 30 seconds, plenty of time. 30 seconds, come on.
That's another. I'm gonna go straight to a good question. You know,
go on.
Tell us something shocking about TV. Something that's shocking that you've witnessed on TV, either on set, either working, or Sheffield Live. I know you said you had that shocking bit there where, you know.
What surprised me personally, what you see on TV is different to how people are off the camera.
Shall we tell you a story?
Go on.
So, for example, people don't understand that I've been in a Bollywood film before. It's called Welcome to Karachi.
I've seen it.
Yeah. So it was in Bradford, shot in Manningham. So shout out to my Bradford boys, Bradford posse, Moore. You know, Mama put me on to Dean, to be honest. So shout out to Moore, man. It's my brother. He's probably watching this at some point. Yeah. So I was shooting that. And so I'm gonna tell you two stories about the same movie, to be honest. So the first one is they used real guns on set. Wow. And when our AK-47s went missing. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When AK-47s went missing, and everyone on set literally got held on set, and they had to stay there until they couldn't come back. And second one is, can I go to the toilet? Yeah. I'll put you in there, picture. I'll put you in the middle there. Yeah,
are you going to tell it was from the toilet?
No.
Oh.
So I went to the toilet. I goes, can I go to the toilet?
Oh, right, okay.
And it was in like...
Because you just went, I'm going to put you a picture, and I need to go to the toilet. Okay. But yeah.
Yeah, so I've gone to I've gone to the toilet now, and literally all these Bollywood actors was in there, all the producers, directors. And I said, how come all these men are going to the toilet together? Yeah. And it was literally like a nightclub in Sheffield on a Saturday. They were all doing lines of Charlie in toilet, bro. All of them being sniff. You get me getting off the tits. I says, yo, it's a big Bollywood film. That's when I realised, like, it literally is all the producers and directors and shit up to no good, man. Yeah. I was there trying to be like, as well as bed, like, hey, bro, have you got some ganja? I was like, what do you mean ganja? Literally tried to get some weed off me. I was like, well, that's a bit racist. Then before one of my boys and say, yeah. They literally were like,
now, if you are getting excited, think, yeah, this is like, it's not always like that. You might get the odd one.
Nah.
He's made up.
No, what about that film we did with Broken Glass?
Which one?
I'm not gonna
Oh,
mention
broken.
names.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were like me.
Yeah.
They were like Lauren Sachet. There was Emily A. Type.
Yeah.
Chris
Depends on
Bush.
the film that you do as well.
Yeah, and literally one of them actors in that film went to go get some sniff to sell it to the rest of the cast. So this is the kind of things you have to come across as an actor. Like, you will get tested. Definitely get tested. And
We don't fall for it.
yeah, don't fall for it, man. Definitely don't fall
Stay
for it.
focused, man.
Yeah.
Stay focused.
Stay on what you need to do.
Focused on your dream and focused on what you want to
And
do.
if that is your kind of thing and you want to get to the done until you make it, then
Yeah.
that's it,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
then they can't.
When you're a millionaire, it's alright.
Because otherwise they just kick you and say, "Go on, man."
Yeah.
Shit.
So I want to go into this one as well. This is an interesting topic. Have you ever encountered any? Let me find the heading for it. In fact, let's keep it positive. What inspired you to be on TV?
CBBC.
CBBC.
Watching
Yeah.
CBBC, honestly, I just thought it was amazing just to see
Mm.
presenting, and I think it helped with obviously. You know when you watch those kind of programs, you have them
Yeah.
little assistant cartoony things, don't you?
Yeah.
So I used to think, I'd love to do that. It's something I'd like to do.
Mm.
But growing up, things obviously changed, doesn't it? Like, and then I wanted to be a web designer at one point. I was good at computers and still am, making things, but I found it boring in college. And as I was in college, after doing passing whatever I did with IT I studied, I got so bored and I thought, I'm not doing this. I left it and I just thought, right, I'm going to go. I took a gap year. I worked in the Chef's Council for a bit, did a year on there. In that, and then from there I thought, right, I'm going to go study it. Where do I go to study it? I didn't really know where to go. I found out the Dick and Dom, Dominic from Dick and Dom, also went to study at Norton College.
Yeah.
Alright, let me go down that avenue, study the
Yeah.
same course. Did it, and as I'm doing that, then from there, we obviously make stuff, you learn and pick up things. And from there, I went to uni to study it, and that's where I started to learn the tricks of the trade kind of thing. Took a part-time job as a salesman, and that built my confidence to another level. I think with anything, and Clint, you'll know this, experience is so key. Doing it more and more and more and more, it just becomes second nature to you. And that's really how I went down that route. And then once you're in that TV kind of zone, it's rather hard to get out of it if you're involved in it. I don't even know whether you want to get out of there. Sometimes I think, sometimes I just feel like I just wish I had a normal day-to-day job, just go about life and be that everyday guy. But once you're in that little group, as they call it, you're in it and you just jump from different things. So yeah, so
where do you see yourself in like 5 year times? What's your like ultimate goals for the next 5 years?
In 5 years, obviously I'd like to progress even further in presenting. Probably go on a national scale. I love football. I'd love to do a show on on a football specific channel and do something like that. Even tech, I enjoy tech. Something like that, gadget show, that sort of stuff. Light-hearted, that kind of thing. But
would you ever be interested in presenting for maybe say like boxing shows, like through Sky?
I haven't really thought about that. I got into boxing late. I'm into boxing now, but not to the extent Clint's involved in it. I couldn't deeply. But no, I was never really into boxing maybe because I tried it once when I was a young kid and I got punched and I remember that
Oh, I'm not surprised when it's boxing. You're supposed to get punched.
I was not really into after that.
Not tickling each other, blisters.
But yeah, no, I mean, I could, to be honest. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. It's alright, it's nice. You know what, one thing we present, especially now when I do like reporting and stuff, because you cover so many things and you speak to footballers, boxers, kids, council leaders or whatever that may be, right? You adapt and you just realise that, as long as you know stuff, the knowledge behind it, what it's about, and you're good at what you do, you could probably do it. The more you do it, obviously the better you get. The more experience and the more you know of something, the better, because there's no point just sitting there thinking, I'll do boxing, but I have no idea what boxing is, and then there's a boxing, what's a punch bag?
Would you ever do like be like a news reporter or like a weather reporter?
I do the news at the moment.
Oh, I'm Sheffield. Okay.
Yeah, the guy does the news at the moment.
Yeah.
The guy literally talks like them proper man them who just, you know.
Do you know what? I got involved in that news. I always hated the news, to be honest with you. Because most of the time it's all bad, isn't it? And you've got to be a lot more formal and stuff. And I've always been that light-hearted, have a laugh kind of thing. But it pays and it keeps me going with the job and that sort of stuff. And it's all right. You get to see and go different places. That's the beauty of it. I've been to Sheffield, so many places.
I'm gonna change it up a little bit because I've been getting some fires on my Facebook. Yeah, so I'm just gonna jump on here. Jordan, if you can just do us a favour, yeah, I'm just gonna move that to the side.
Yep.
Move this one to.
Don't drink visitors.
Yeah.
He's so gassed up.
So if you just want to tell the name of the person who said the question. Yeah, and then also read the question out.
I'm sure if I pronounce this right, I do apologise if I pronounce it wrong. Is it Near Tom?
No, not that one. If you want to press X.
Oh, right, okay, the top one.
That's a private message about some coaching.
Okay.
Good job it went booty call, isn't it? Yeah.
So which one? This top one here,
yeah.
So this is from Christopher Benjamin. So do you know the difference between sorry and apology? Therefore, it's important to say sorry or understand and explain.
Sorry, tell me that again.
Okay, so question.
This is like a group topic, by the way. We'll all just get into discussion on this one.
So do people know? I think they're supposed to say the difference. So do people know the difference between sorry and apology? Therefore.
And apology.
And apology. Therefore, is important to say sorry or understand and explain.
Okay, so let me go on this one. So basically, you can just say to someone, I'm sorry, I accept it. Or you can apologise and go in for a justification and a meaning and why you've actually done it, and justify or explain your reason for your mistake or your error. Can you just expand on that? Do you know if someone says sorry or an apology, is there a difference?
I think apology has a deeper meaning to it, definitely. I think sorry is used a lot more fluidly.
Well, it definitely can be used as accidentally on purpose when
sorry.
you do something. Sorry, but you're not really sorry because you did it on purpose.
Yeah, just then I remember telling you I kicked Clint. Sorry. Yeah, I think apology is deep.
That gap there.
And it means a lot more. If you apologise to someone, it has to come from the heart. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. I think that anyway.
Okay.
There needs to be a genuine apology.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, maybe some people might not be really good in words, but they'll do it in gestures. Like they might maybe say, if you fell out with missus or something, you'll buy her some flowers to say sorry. In that way, maybe some people are not too good with words, but it's gestures that you could use in order to say sorry to somebody, to show that you're sorry and you're genuinely sorry. But yeah, there's a definitely a difference. Huh? Oh, I'm a romantic, mate, all the time. No, it's one of them. If you're in the wrong, you should be man enough or woman enough to just admit that you're wrong.
Do you know what? Sometimes
this
is so true. I think people, and it's not easy sometimes to apologise. You've literally got to get rid of that
stubbornness.
Yo. You really have to. And I think you have to be the bigger person. And sometimes when you're angry with somebody as well, it's harder. You might have done something, or you both might have exchanged words or whatever. And then it's a lot harder to actually, apologise. Even though maybe it is your fault, maybe it isn't.
Chris basically says that sorry is a meaning of self-pity. And I've just to go on some comments. Moore's put, what were them costumes playing out in that Bollywood? And he always said, he basically said that they dressed me like, I was supposed to have been a Nigerian terrorist, but apparently Moore said it looks like a Pakistani wedding. You just want to read that question there from Christopher Benjamin, yeah?
Oh, the second one, yeah?
Yeah.
So, is it acceptable to smack or beat your child? Well, definitely not beat them. I don't know, because...
This one is really, really... Look, beating, I don't know if I like the sound of beating,
Yeah.
but discipline I agree with.
Yeah,
Definitely.
discipline is definitely. They need to know who's
Yeah.
in charge, and if
See, that's just something that you look at some white people, yeah, and I don't see it as white people like it's just all white people, but the majority of white people won't beat the kids, and they'll use, obviously, go to naughty step, Charlie, go to naughty step. He's like, fuck off.
I don't think that stuff works. I don't think that stuff works.
go to bed, fuck off, I'm going to bed, make me.
But I believe, obviously, now, times have changed now, obviously, first of all, they'd say it's against the law to hit and beat your kids. And you can obviously contact social services. But you want my resolutions, put a boxing glove on.
Yeah, for boxing glove. Oh, you think you're tough?
Oh, you kid!
Big guy, are you?
No, but no. On a serious note, we can be smarter than that. We don't have to beat as kids. Like I believe personally, like if you use intellect, you can discipline your children or your child. By getting to them on a mental level. So if your kid's being wrong, like at school, you used to do lines at school.
Yeah.
You do lines at school, you had to repeat the thing.
I never did lines.
In detention.
Yeah.
We're always doing
that.
that.
Lines you guys
No, my God.
I think I did more detention than I did actual lessons.
No, but I get what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean? So for example...
there was a trick with that, doing the lines, that I did that many times. I used to just go down,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cheating way, fam. You don't learn shit from
Actually,
that.
it wasn't cheating.
It's a glitch.
It's a glitch. It's been working smarter and not harder.
Yeah, of course. But like I say, for me, when I feel sorry, I even feel bad saying it, but my first child, Sienna, she's the oldest, bless her. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday, boo boo.
Happy birthday,
I forgot you,
Sienna.
Sienna. Happy birthday, love you, babes.
Birthday blessings.
Yeah, so with her, I was young when I had her as well, so it was like a learning experience. So she was the oldest one I gave to a couple of times, and then I realised like you don't really. Kids will just develop like a adult with vaccines. They'll develop an immunity towards it, and they'll find ways in which to deflect your beatings or to take your beatings, and they'll still be bad. So what I realised then, what you have to do with children, my advice is you have to get them where it hurts. So take the phones off them, take off the computers, abolish them from paying out, make them stay in the rooms, but take away all the social media, make them do chores, make them do things that an adult can do, just get them towards on a mental level and make them start to think on why they did wrong, and maybe have a conversation on what they did wrong.
And
Do you know what I mean?
I've noticed when it comes to my son, I just need to give him a certain look and he knows I'm being serious. Like I'm not messing about. I mean, there was one time where I was very, very close to, giving a bit of a smack and that would be. Basically just showing off, kicking off, chucking his son all over. And then I were at my mum's and he was just proper showing off, proper pushing, trying to push my buttons. And then basically at the end of it, at first I was getting right annoyed and like starting to get a bit angry about it. But I thought to myself, first thing he's going to ask for as soon as we leave this door is to come go to the shop and get some sweets. So I'm like, alright then, I'll just ignore him, let him have his paddy, let him kick off. And then I was like, right, come on, we're going. And he got up and it's like he instantly knew that if he asked that, he knows what the answer's going to be. And then normally when we get into house, it's like, oh, can I go on PlayStation?
Yeah.
It was like he instantly knew not to even ask. So I'm like, right, get your charms on, get in bed. And that's it. That were it. End of it. He woke up next morning, he was good as gold. I mean, he just realised what he'd done wrong, and it's like, I've just realised if you get angry about it, it's just you losing control. Where realistically, you're always going to have the upper hand, because there's always going to be something that they're going to ask for.
I think what's really important, I think maybe people don't do it too often, is explaining why you're disciplining them.
Yeah.
The reason behind. No point just shouting or telling them don't do that over.
Yeah.
It's the kids to think why, and then they're having to figure it out for themselves.
They don't understand
why.
why.
To figure it. If you do something, whether it be a shout or however you may discipline. I'm not going to tell you how to discipline your own child. You know how to do that. But then telling whether it's instantly or after that. This is why I did it, and this is why it's wrong. And this is why you should do this.
I mean, you shouldn't just randomly just smack your kid for no reason and just expect them to know what they did wrong without any justification. First of all, of the beating or the punishment.
Yeah.
Do you get me? Even before they throw you in jail for life, they go to take you to trial and court and then explain what kind of sentence you're getting. So even the worst criminals get justification and get the explanation before they go to court, before they go to jail. Do you get me? So your kid deserves that as well. So the next one, I'm just going to touch on Mo's question. It says, one sec.
So
Ghouls, ghost and ghouls, an experience. LOL. Let's go. So man's gonna talk about ghosts and ghouls. First of all, we'll go to our guest first, and then we'll catch two Joe. Go on.
What are we talking about?
First of all, obviously, I know that obviously you've got your specific beliefs. I'm not going to talk about what they are for whatever reason. But you, ghosts and ghouls. Yeah.
I'm Muslim, alhamdulillah.
No, but obviously, you know what I mean. Like, so ghosts and ghouls, because people can say it's quite controversial to talk about jinns and them kind of things.
Yeah, I believe in jinns, of course, 100%.
Have you had never experienced with jinns?
Never experienced it, and I never want to as well. So if any jinns are bad, forget about it.
Yeah.
What, Jordan? Let's go. Let's talk to you now. Have you ever experienced ghosts and ghouls and ghosts?
No, I've not really had an experience. I'm interested in it, and I do believe there's got to be something. I don't think we just die and then no happens, but I don't know. I've never witnessed anything personally myself that I can definitely say that's a ghost or a ghoul or anything like that, but
yeah,
I don't know. I think most things are probably nightmares where you think they're real. That's probably like the closest I've ever got where you think the nightmare is absolutely real. It's like you're convinced when you wake up, it's like I wasn't asleep. And that's probably the only thing, but other than that, I don't think I've ever actually seen or witnessed anything. I've heard weird noises, but I mean, I think nearly everybody's houses have some sort of weird noises. And when you move into a new house, there's also like different noises that you might hear. Or whatever.
So Christopher says, just touching on the last subject, he basically says that I think smacking a child says more about the individual if you cannot find any other way other than brute force, and you should use talk and reason. And then touching on the ghost, he says there is only one ghost, the Holy Ghost.
Okay.
I did witness a ghost as a child, actually, now I'm thinking about it.
Now you definitely got to tell us about that. And
yeah,
tell us
it
what
was.
happened.
I can't remember what channel it was on. It was called Casper.
Oh my god.
But no, realistically, I did. I've never experienced it. Jinns, I've never experienced. No, I don't want to.
So I've got a few stories, but people think it's all subjective, innit? So this actual house that we're in right now, old man's supposed to have died in this house that I'm in that corner. Of natural causes.
Next to the door or in the room?
No, not in the room.
What, here, right here?
Right here where I'm sat. On a sofa, literally on a sofa and on a single chair. But just died natural causes and drifted off to sleep and then we're gone. He's not died in brutally made or anything like really like super bad. But yeah, a person died in this house. And Sienna, my daughter, when she was like 2 or 3 years old, she used to go to the same corner where the person died. And she'd be talking to somebody, yeah. And then obviously you can't really. It's all subjective,
yeah.
Because kids can have got an imagination, can have an imaginary friend. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So it's not like I can justify it as a ghost. Like, oh, we're definitely a ghost, because who am I couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
But she used to talk, and then another time, my ex-partner's cousin came and she was on the stairs. And these times the house going through like it was in dire straits of repair, and the door was off the hinges, and it was literally propped against the doorway. And before anyone says anything like this, there was no wind because all the windows in the house was completely shut. Yeah, all of it, and it's the door was propped against the door frame, and she's gone walking down the stairs, and it's literally like someone went bang and pushed the door. I'm not saying it flew or anything like that because it's bullshit, but literally the door like. It looked like it was gonna fall on her, but when I've looked, literally the door was down the stairs. It's all something like it's all hearsay. You can't really say what it is.
Wait a minute. The door was down the stairs.
Halfway down the stairs. It's like someone pushed it, and obviously if you don't obviously you can't see my house. I ain't took it on a tour yet. So the stairs it like curves around.
Yeah.
So it's like the door was propped, and you had to go like a curve way. So it's like someone pushed it with so much force that the door like fell against the stairs and then tilted down. It was like as if someone pushed it. That's the only way I can describe it. But there was only her upstairs, and she's just gone ah, and just did this big noise. And then we've gone to the stairs, and the door was like literally falling down the stairs. Not falling, but it propped and like wedged within the wall. So like someone pushed it. And obviously that's always just resonated with me. Like obviously whatever it is, don't like that bitch in the house. You get what I mean? So obviously jinns or whatever they are, I do believe this phenomena that we can't explain. Send us your comments. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you've had any ghosty experiences. And also, if anyone wants to jump on the screen, just let me know. I can send you the link and we can share the screen half and half, and you can give us your little ghosty experience and stuff like that. But yeah, this is, like I said, this is what we're trying to do now. We're trying to bring guests on the show. Like you can see Azz in the side of the picture. Yeah, that's right, he's there giving his peace sign up. And you can see Jordan now, look. Half and half with Azz.
Having a quick drink.
Yeah, having a quick drink. We can put you down in half of the screen, so 50-50. Contact us and let us know if you want to be on the screen. Mo says though, you need a live phone-in, boys, for all the ghost stories out there. More, do you know what it is? If people were like yourself and know they were genuine, I would do that. But you're just gonna get people who smoke weed and talk shit and just make up some random stories to write it.
Hey, do you remember that
one time
on the right stuff? There's that chat show on the right stuff or something. This person used to always call in and just talk crap about his ex or something on there. And he's like, oh no, cut him off.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
constantly did that. And that's probably what's going to happen. People just like to get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, when they're on video, it's a lot harder to do that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, that's funny that, because every time, you know, when we go out reporting, obviously not so much now with this COVID and not COVID, get rid of this COVID, man. But yeah, this thing before pre-COVID days, when you'd go out to film and you're out and about filming reporting, everybody sees the camera, they all want to come around,
get me more.
and you know, jump on it. And then as soon as you put the camera on them, man, they run.
Battle it up.
They run, they freeze up.
So as I'm gonna use your we've just got a question off and someone saying, what is a jinn? So I know obviously we've got human beings that are on the planet, we're Homo sapiens, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the highest, is supposed to made jinns, which is smokeless fire, and they live in this dunya, in this reality, but they live in a different dimension that we can't see, but they live amongst us on this planet around us at all times.
I think the best way of putting it in perspective for obviously those that don't know it, think of it as like they're like ghosts. Yeah, I mean people could probably label them as ghosts or whatever, but they're like ghosts, but they're jinn. They're jinn. They live amongst us, right? They won't interfere with us unless we interfere with them. So people that go searching for it, you're cracked.
Mo, please send us some information or your advice on jinn, because I know you're well tuned up on this, bro, and you will give the right advice in a very limited, concise sentence, that's what he's really good at.
Clint, people who go searching for this kind of stuff's crazy, man.
Listen.
Why would you search for stuff like that?
Because the person that I talked to, no, because the person that has mentioned this comment, we've had conversations before. So he's read the 3 books, the Gospel, the Torah, and the Quran, yeah. But he also says what he's done. He meditates quite a lot, and he gets visited by these beings. So it's controversial to a lot of people, but he's entitled to his own beliefs. So if he wants to ask about that, my podcast is open, bro.
Of course.
You get what I mean? I open it out to everybody.
For me personally, I would not go search for it. I guess people in this world, what you tend to find is everybody searches for certain things. It's some of the craziest things.
I think the theory is to open your mind up to like the 4th dimension is to do with what people call the third eye. If people don't know what the third eye is, it's the pineal gland. And basically the pineal gland is like a third eye which is in your brain, which has got pretty much the same as what a normal eye has got. It's got like a cornea, it's got all of the things that you would get to the eye. So basically saying once you open up your third eye, your pineal gland, that's when it opens up to the 4th dimension. So I mean, that is something I'm interested in, so it is something that I have practiced and like gone on YouTube. I've never had no experience, maybe I'm doing it wrong, or
have you actually done that Ouija board route and all that stuff?
No, I won't mess about with Ouija board because I don't know. If I wanted to open my mind up to the 4th dimension, I'd want to see something like positive. You know what I mean? I don't know. I guess it's just.
Were you to say that what comes through is positive or negative? Like you don't want to see positive. Like hey! Oh, you're negative bastards, back up. Positive people only.
Hey,
do you get what I mean?
Let's go to the pub. Let's have a drink.
So it's like all I'm saying is we've got another comment here.
I think it's one of them. Once you open up the third eye or the pineal gland, you're not going to know what's going to come.
Christopher,
so it's going to shock you either way, whether it's good, bad, or whatever. You're not going to expect it.
Chris says here, who decides whether it's a positive experience or a negative? Does the presence have the word jinn written on their forehead? So As you can elaborate on that.
Well, I mean, I'm not going around looking for positive or negative things out there, bro. It's really but I mean, how would you do that? What are you gonna do? What are you like?
I think everything's energy, isn't it? So I think it's, do you know, like if they say you attract what you want to. So basically, the energy that you're in, you'll attract that energy. So if you're in a positive frame of mind, you're going to attract good energy.
You can't say that though, bro.
But if you're in a bad frame of mind, then you're more than likely going to attract negative energy, which would be...
I get where you're coming from, but then, I don't know, I don't think, I mean, there's good people in this world, there's bad people, there's evil people, right?
Mm.
But a good person can encounter an evil person, sadly, whether it be on the street or wherever. So these random things can happen, and what's to say that can't happen with the same route as looking down?
Well, it could. I think it's just that risk you take. If you want to get into that, like meditation and opening up your chakras and opening up your third eye, I think that's the risk you take. So it's just the unknowing that it's exciting about it.
What if one turns up and goes, you want a positive but you got a negative? What are you gonna do with that, fam? What would you say to that? If one rocked up now, it's negative.
Yeah.
What would you say? What would you do?
You can't really say. You can't.
Would you freeze?
What
would be your reaction?
I think if I was to open up my pineal gland, I think whether it was a positive or negative, you'd probably freeze, because you're just like, you wouldn't be able to comprehend the feeling that you'd get to actually physically see something that you know is some sort of spirit being or some extraterrestrial that you've actually seen. You wouldn't be able to describe how you'd feel, because you've never been in that situation. I mean, when you look at it on films and stuff, it's like, some people would be scared, some people would, whatever. You wouldn't know what you'd do. Do you know, like when people watch films like, oh, I wouldn't run, I'd do this, I wouldn't be scared.
Let's use your phone a second.
I don't think you'd ever be able to comprehend the feeling that you'd get, but until you've actually witnessed it.
So I'm going to go on to this one for Azz for a second. I'm just going to find a question for Azz. Let's lighten it up, because I'm getting scared now. I've got to pray in a minute. So Azz, we're going to take it away from that, and let's go on something positive. What's your favourite hobby?
What's your positive genes?
No. Yeah. What's your favourite hobby, or what's you doing your pastime as?
Football, computer games, filming.
Okay, so let's talk on football right now, because obviously you're a news presenter. Yeah, so you're up to date with all the current news. How was this lockdown that affected football? And also, before, let's see what team you support. What team are you?
Man United.
Yeah, what team are you, bro?
My legs, because they support me.
That's right. I don't really support football. I watch football, but I don't support any specific team. So go on, let's take us about football in lockdown, man. How's it going in through lockdown? Is there any breaking news you can advise? What about this Ronaldo moving to Man U, man? Okay.
Let's be honest. No, football's...
Well, might do. He went
I don't know, man. But let's be honest. One thing's good. Football is on, and it's positive for the mental mind.
Did now go do a season with Man United before?
The season, he won on the season, yeah. He did. He came.
That free kick that he scored, that was beautiful. That free kick. So when he with Man United, I know he scored a lot of free kicks, but the main one that he scored with Man United, it was beautiful.
Yeah, Ronaldo's Ronaldo, isn't he? He's just, I mean, everybody knows every little thing about Cristiano Ronaldo. He's just something else, isn't he? Brilliant player. Yeah, I'd love it if he's back in the Premier League. I love the Premier League. I think it's one of the best leagues in the world. And you know what worries me, saddens me actually, to see where Sheffield United are at the moment. How they performed last season, how far they've come.
I think it's because all this lockdown.
Just for all this to like just.
Yeah, because Warner is a good manager, he's a great manager. It's just a shame what's happening. But I do believe a lack of fans has affected the team, and it's probably affected a lot of people. We've seen Liverpool, look at that. They've got one of the best fans, hates me to say that, in the league. Just unbelievable. There's no fans, and now look, Liverpool's losing every other. Whenever I watch it, it's something negative related to Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp's losing his mind.
I think football is mainly. This is what I like. This is what I get about football from what I see. Yeah. So I'm just gonna take you off there a second, Jordan. You can have relax.
Can have a rest from seeing my beautiful face.
Yeah. Go and see snaps and see if there's any questions or on Instagram. That's what I've just done while I come off camera a second. So this is the thing. What I think about football. Yeah. See, football is a massive stadium sport. Stadium sports, if you're not know or unaware, it was created by Alexander the Great to kind of distract the nation from when he was just trying to conquer the world. Since we've had this lockdown and people have been sat in the house, all these athletes, where do you think their transfers and get their energy from? Is the fans. That's why all this football and all these teams are just dying off. You get what I mean? It's just killing off the energy of the team, and they can't perform the same. It's like me when I used to play basketball at school. Yeah, when there was one person who turned up, I played all right. If there were 25 gyal and 2 months, I was I just had like a spark of adrenaline, a spark of energy. And these footballers are no different from us. They might be getting paid big boy wages, but we don't wake up for money.
But they're the 12th man, aren't they?
Exactly. Do you get what I mean?
But I do still think that obviously footballers will know during this lockdown period there's people watching them all across the globe.
Yeah.
And that will give them some lift. Everyone's on social media these days. So everybody follows what's happening, and maybe they're scared to. Social media, that's another topic in itself, isn't it? Does it really help, especially when it comes to football? The amount of racism and stuff that happens, and people can just jump on it and just chat whatever they want to chat and get away with it. But I do believe that social media eventually it might get to a stage where to register for an account you're going to need some form of identification.
Well,
so they can pull and track you.
Yeah, I mean, right now when you log on to any kind of thing like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, they've literally got all your information and data. And then to use a lot of their services like the facial apps and the facial filters, you've got to have location and tracking services on. So just because you turn your tracking and information off and you don't believe they know where you are, doesn't mean the app's not got access to where you are. They know where you are at all times. It's just that they're not. If you're not really doing anything wrong, they're not really going to pull that.
Yeah, if you're not in the bad, then you're not doing the wrong things.
Yes, Hassan, Kareem. Yes, then, brother.
I'd say you've got nothing to worry about, really.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, it's also
privacy concern.
Yeah, it's like George Orwell, isn't it? It's becoming like a state where you're constantly getting monitored, constantly getting surveyed.
But we're getting monitored, especially if you're in Britain. For a long time, you step out of your door, you're being watched.
Yeah.
Cameras are everywhere.
And one of my boys, Uncle Moore, shout out to Uncle Moore, who was saying like the new street lights, they've all got like 5G antennas on top of them. They've got LED lights, but if you look at the back of the LED light, they've got a little strip where they're going to add a camera in future. So every single street light's going to have a 5G camera on there as well. So they can literally watch and surveillance every single corner of fucking Sheffield. And like England already is literally the most CCTV surveillance nation or country in the world already. So like how much more privacy rules do they want to breach? I mean, like I said, I'm one of them people that I don't really think if you do anything wrong, you're not got really nothing to worry about. But at the same time, it is quite dangerous. I mean, I've seen the film Enemy of the State with Will Smith.
Yeah,
man. Dustin, is it Dustin Hoffman? I believe it is. They can use satellites, trackers, and they can pin murders on this guy, make him feel like he can't do it, he can't go anywhere. They're just constantly watching him. You get what I mean?
It's a bit like Prison Break, isn't it?
Yeah, like man said there, it's like a Big Brother house to us.
You know what? I sit on the fence with this kind of stuff. It's good for security, yeah. Don't get me wrong.
It's good for security and it's good for national threats.
On the
but at the same time,
privacy concern.
Yeah.
Personally, I wouldn't. If you're gonna have security, obviously we can't choose that. Anyway, they probably do. But I think there needs to be a certain distance from your house where cameras are activated.
Nah, sir. Listen, you've got cameras watching us right now on your fucking webcam. That's why certain people go to sleep and they'll put a plaster over the webcam. Yeah. Because they can access that shit. Yeah. Access that shit at any time. Yeah. They can literally access your Bumba PlayStation 4 camera. When you if anyone's got the latest Xbox, yeah? When you get the Xbox and you put the Xbox Connect on there, fam. As soon as I put my cousins on there, he put it on at first. I'm like, yo, I'm gas, blah blah blah. And they were like, as soon as I started moving. Fucking camera started following me around the house. Yeah, do you get what I mean? Yeah. I'm thinking, if they want to track your house, bug your house, they can do anything. I mean, like I said, I've got nothing to hide, so I'm not really arsed. But it is a case of the data protection breach, the breaching your house for any kind of reason.
Well, not really, because you press accept. You read those terms.
No, but guess what? They purposely put the term 10,000 pages long.
If you
And
don't read it,
most people are like, fuck that.
that's it.
I don't
That's
want to read that.
That's it. That's where the issue lies.
That's a mistake they're making. You
What's
haven't
more
read it.
surprising though? What's more surprising is the fact that you have an Xbox over a PlayStation 5.
I ain't got an Xbox, the latest Xbox.
Alright, well you have even that PS4. Or you have Xbox over PS4.
No, I've got PS4, man.
Alright, I'm sure you said you had Xbox.
No, I've got PS4, but
You said you were going to get it.
no, but to be
Oh,
honest,
okay.
I'm gonna get slated here, right? I'm moving over to Xbox because all my friends are on
It's
Xbox,
unacceptable.
and you get considered to
It's
be.
unacceptable.
Yep.
I mean,
Listen.
it's the first guy that I know is getting an Xbox.
Nah,
Every
man.
other person, even online.
We've got another question here. We've got another question here from Hassan. He says, "Do you think we should have left the EU?" Jordan, I'll let you kick on with this one. Jordan, do you think we should have left the
Should
EU?
have left the EU.
And if so, why should we have left the E EU?
I don't think so, because like if you talk about the EU, like it's basically if leaving the EU is leaving our country vulnerable, because if we leave the EU, when it comes to things like, let's say another country tried to invade our country, they're going to be like, no, you've left the EU, we're not backing you. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of things that's into it. It's probably a deep thing to go into, but I look at it that way. I mean, if anybody, like other country, wanted to try and take over England, the EU or all the other people that are in the EU, they're going to be like, well, we're not backing you. You've left the EU. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's probably one of the things why I think it might be a bad idea. I don't know. I can't really comment on that one, I think.
I've just realised, man, we could have shared all these comments on the scroller. Do you think you should have left the EU? It's scrolling across the bottom there, that's sick.
Do I think we should have left the EU?
Mm.
Yeah, make Britain great again. I'm joking. On a serious note, no, I don't think so. Only because few things. Obviously, first of all, this is a big one because you know when something happens, right? You go to court. What happened?
Oh, I just spilled a drink on myself.
Missed his mouth.
I was trying to listen to you and just pour my drink at the same time.
No, because you know, guys, that when something happens, right, it goes to the court, goes to the High Court, and then the courts above the courts, especially when it comes to human rights and all that sort of stuff. The EU has the last say. Yeah. Once that's out of the question, Britain can call the shots and do what they want. The leaders at the top can do what they want realistically.
Fam, unless they're going to make ganja legal and all these kind of things.
No, but you don't know. You could be in a situation one day. You don't know. I mean,
Do you think there might have been a bit of manipulation in it? Because if I remember correctly, I'm not a big fan of like watching the news, but I can remember seeing things where Donald Trump were having a lot of meetings. I think it was David Cameron.
Yeah.
Like before Boris Johnson took over, there were a lot of meetings that we were having for like the Korean, the guy from Korea. They were having a lot of meetings which were just out of the blue.
Yeah.
And it's like then all of a sudden this Brexit and all this stuff started coming to things. So do you think it's a bit of a manipulation that maybe like America's trying to separate us from the EU so they can come in and then just take over England?
I mean, look, the thing is right now, like, we can see the mess that's ongoing at the moment, at the boards and that sort of stuff, and then having to do trade deals, paying more money, having to go elsewhere. I mean, neighbours, they say to do your deals and you keep them with your neighbours. It's easier, it's better. What we're doing now, we've cut that off with our neighbours and we're flying across seas to other countries and getting X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
Crazy. And not just that, travel, work, it's just made things difficult. But you know, people's choice.
Well,
You gotta respect it.
Assam says, I was in Marbella in my camper van. Now they can stay no longer than 3 months.
Yeah.
It's fucked now. You need to work visa.
Yeah.
Me being a blade technician, it's hard for me to get work in the EU. And proof of earnings, plus you need a trade to work.
Yeah.
So that's limited a lot of people. But it sounds like Hassan, he's limited him. So Hassan's struggling.
Leaving the EU or staying in the EU?
I apologise if I had to put a t-shirt on because I got Coca-Cola all over my fucking jumper for I'm vexed right now.
No, I agree. It does limit, especially if you have trade with the EU, and which I presume quite a few people will have. It is going to affect you. Of course, it's going to affect you. You're restricting yourself. You're literally your neighbours, where you could go in and out and what links, pretty much closer to us all day. And now you can't. So now you have to jump over the EU to get to where you need to get to, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
For me, I think it was the wrong move, but people, you got to respect it now. People voted for it. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And if that's the vote. And if you complain there, people who welcome, there's a lot of people that didn't vote. Those that want to make, because a lot of people thought, it's not going to happen. Let's not vote. I voted, but obviously I thought that. But it happened because those that didn't, those that wanted to leave, made sure that they'd go and vote. And then we're in a situation, it is what it is, it's happening, God knows what's going to happen.
It's one of them questions that you could go into. So
politics, isn't it?
It's been politics, it just could go
But
around
these
in
days you
circles.
kind
It's
of
like,
say politics, whether you like it or not, you're involved in it somehow.
one of those things that's quite annoying is that they actually agreed and they settled it that they were leaving the EU, and then all of a sudden they backtracked. So that maybe they thought or realised what's going to happen if they did leave EU, and they thought actually we might have made a mistake. And that's why it's just dragging out for longer, because they don't really want to leave the EU, because basically it does make England a vulnerable country if they do. Because the rest of the EU is not going to back England. You know what I mean? If someone tries to invade it.
The EU may say, yeah, we'll back you, but realistically, are they happy that this is happening? Of course not. Would you be happy? And this could have a domino effect in a negative way for other countries. They could, someone else might, we want to leave the EU now as well. And the EU gets divided. And then,
it's already happened already. I mean, I'm sure Scotland's been trying to get their independence for a long time. And so has Wales, but Wales. They can't even spell properly. Cheeseburger. What? Cheeseburger. Chips. What?
Chips.
Have you ever been there, fam?
Yeah.
They were lovely people, don't get me wrong, but their spelling is mad. It's like triple P, triple Y, triple L, triple double, triple C, toilet. What? It don't make sense.
But in respect, they might have their own language, but they also have English everywhere, wherever you go. So
England's probably one of the most learned languages from other people, but it doesn't mean it's the correct language. What is the correct language? No one knows.
You know what's sad though? The fact that the English flag and
is in so many different countries.
No.
As in so many different countries.
No, it's how it's perceived.
What? Yeah, I've got a fantastic book.
I've got a fantastic book on that. Right? And they wear that flag with pride, Scottish flag. But when you look at it, it's like it's been taken over by, sadly, the racist or negative agenda. Now, if you fly the British flag, yeah, fine. But as soon as you see an English, instantly your mind thinks.
The English flag.
It's sad, isn't it?
The English flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because for the longest it we used for like it was long for. It's like on most at Crusaders flags, and most at Knights Templar, but I just relate the English flag now to England, we're all getting pissed, England.
That's exactly what I mean. But no, obviously there's a lot of history involved in it, of course.
Don't you think it's mad how, like, we're all in England, but you can go so far down the motorway or go to a different city, and the accent's completely different. It's like, what is all that?
It says all the time.
What starts that way? Why do people have different accents if we're all speaking English? Why does it all of a sudden people have different accents and stuff? Like Geordie's completely different to Liverpool. Like Liverpool's like Liverpool, and then Geordie's like why am I? What makes it different? Why do people talk different in different places?
What can you answer that one as?
Yeah, that's a tough one, that isn't it? But I mean, I could probably look at it and think back, going way back. Bear in mind, there were smaller towns, villages and stuff. Even Sheffield was a village, and then grew into town. So obviously, there wasn't probably as much travel or easier to travel. So people would have incorporated the language and had their own little dialects, and then it kind of moved on. Even when you look at just English back, so many years back, when you watch the news on TV or something, the way they talk before, as opposed to how they talk now. But
Like old English to like
Traditional English,
yeah.
Basically, it's like watching the Queen on the Queen. Have you seen the
She's
TV?
too posh.
No. Have you seen the Queen? Have you seen the Queen on Netflix? The series.
I've seen it in the palace though.
No, the Queen on Netflix is a really good series. To be fair, it's a really good watch.
I've heard actually a lot of people talking.
If you
about
haven't watched the Queen on Netflix, I recommend you watch it ASAP. It's brilliant. It's fantastic.
I would suggest watching Ertugrul first. So much better.
Isn't that about the Ottoman Empire? That
It is. It's brilliant. If you ain't seen it, watch it.
So just
It's long, but it's good.
Just gives a rundown. In about 10 billion episodes.
Yeah, I'm so glad.
Is it that good?
It's that
So
good.
what's the premise? Like, obviously it's about the Ottoman Empire, but what's
It's history. It's basically showing.
is it based on truth though?
Well, obviously not.
Obviously not every single part.
Yeah.
Is it
Supposed
an
to be,
exaggerated truth? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll tell you one thing. I had a nightmare the other day, and I stagfirullah, man. You're not really supposed to declare nightmare, so I'm not gonna tell you what happened in the nightmare. But I had a nightmare.
Yeah.
So I woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. I was like, did my prayer, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. You know what it is. all the positions and thing.
Yeah.
And then I thought, yo, I went on Facebook, as you do. Went on Facebook and I found this app, and it was like, no, this show. We're a sponsor for this show, and if you haven't got it, listen, you need to get it. It's brilliant. It's called The Chosen. Yeah, and it's about Jesus, peace be upon him, the prophet, and basically it's like it's done the first time it's ever been done before, where it's you can donate what you believe it's worth. You don't have to pay to watch it, but you can if you want, kind of thing. So obviously I'm not going to pay right now, but I feel like I want to at some point, because apparently it's based on the scriptures, so it's kind of as much to the real life scriptures as it can get, but some additional drama will be added in just to make it flow. It's on your app. That's you download an app called The Chosen, and basically you can send it to your TV if you've got a smart TV off your phone, and like link it via if you're on the same Wi-Fi network. Yeah, stream it on. Obviously, you can send it as long as you're on the same Wi-Fi network. It's called The Chosen. If you haven't seen it, download it app. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. It's really good.
Interesting.
Yeah, man.
Very interesting. Yeah, and speaking, if you're staying on these topics of films and so forth, and obviously reality and
Well, yeah, we've got a
there is
Bomber Club, big actor and
there is any you seen the apparently there's a new COVID film made or something.
oh, we watched that video.
Have you seen it?
It's like
Songbird.
There's
Songbird.
a couple of
No, was that Bird Song or whatever it was? I've seen that.
Songbird.
Was it Songbird? I've seen that.
Bird Song.
Was it Bird Song? Songbird?
Oh my god.
That's old, isn't it though?
Yes, yeah, so
Is that the one you can't see?
Nah, man.
What's that?
That's what's that called? Don't Speak or something.
No, wait. So anyone
Songbird,
that knows,
man.
right? Let us know. Is that the one? The one I'm talking about is the one where they can't see. If they see, this thing comes and kills them, and they're all like,
oh,
what is it called now?
Look what man was put.
oh. Get yourself a bib.
Get yourself a baby nasty boy.
Hey, what else? That? No, Birdwatch, isn't it? Is it Birdwatch?
Birdwatch.
Birdwatch.
Be watching something on Discovery Channel or something, isn't it?
Oh, what's that film called?
Birdwatch.
Hey, somebody whoever.
That's
knows.
that's somewhat what in outdoor workers doing at top of scaffolding.
Is there a film called
Get it,
Mockingbird? Is there a film called Mockingbird?
No, come on, we're going now into Eminem movements. No. What is that film got? Listen, it's going to play on my mind now. Whoever knows.
I think I know which one.
I think
what
you
you're
do.
about.
And I'm sure Clinton's watched it. I actually enjoyed it. That's good.
Which one, man? How can you tell me
They
I
can't
watched it?
see. They can't. Everybody saw it. It was a big craze. It was probably about a year or two ago.
Has it got $1 Million Baby in it?
Who?
Mi-
Never met the guy. No. Oh my god. Something bird. I know that much.
Okay.
It's got nothing to do with birds.
Alright.
That else.
You got
So
Sandra
it's got
Bullock in it.
So basically, they.
Yeah, Sam Josh Reyes.
So basically they're all piled up and this thing comes and if they see it they freeze, they die, and they all run into this house and lock the doors, they close the curtains, don't look outside, whatever you do, try and find out what it is. This woman takes her 2 kids, something. Oh my god, it's gonna really play on.
Yeah. You're going to think of it when it's not important tonight.
Someone's
Wait
got
up
to
and
see
make
it,
that's
that's
it.
Surely someone would know about it.
Yeah, so somebody will have
It was a
watched
good
it.
film anyway, watch it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna end it in the next 5 minutes. Have you got any topics you'd like to address before we end it? 'Cause we've talked about quite a few things today, and it's gone over an hour because the time was ticked off about 10 minutes ago. It's about an
Well,
hour and
I'll
10.
bring another subject, so it's a bit kind of like the conversation we've just had. Like, how can you explain that X and exchange? It's kind of like that conversation, how can space never end? You're never going to find the real answer, but it's an interesting subject. Nobody can really say the answer, so that's why it's an interesting subject.
We were talking about what were we talking about the other day when we said Paul, flat Earth, innit?
Flat Earth, yeah.
So what would you say about the flat Earth theory, Jordan?
What do I say about it? Basically, I just do my research. I mean, I don't just go by, like, let's say, watch one video and then think, oh yeah, I know everything. I just look at things and I watch things and like I look at these videos where they're doing like they're supposed to be live videos in these space shuttles and things, and you can clearly see on some of them where they've got strings. Like, do you know like it's a string and you can see it like pulling the top up of it.
Yeah.
Or there's like things that it's exaggerated. I think what we've been told about space is completely not what it actually is. We've been manipulated, and it's. We're talking about a thing when that guy put a GoPro on a rocket, sent it up to space. It went so far up, and then all of a sudden it just stopped.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it's like some video on YouTube as well. You can watch it, and it just stops. It's just spinning around in midair, and it's like we were talking about. Like,
this is the thing. See, like, if you read the Quran. If you read the Quran, for me, it makes it very easy, because it kind of tells you what it is, and that's why I said to you and I said to everybody else, like, for me, I don't need to talk about flat earth and all these kind of things, because the truth's in the book, and it says I've made layer upon layer in the heavens, and you'll never be able to penetrate them anyway. So for me to like go past that, it's easy for me, because I can read that and I got my evidence there in the papers, in the books, whereas another person might say, but I want to see scientific proof. Bro,
that's why I was just listening to what you were saying. I was like, I'm just to grasp his kind of mind, because obviously what's playing on in that mind, obviously, because you haven't read the
fucking all sorts, mate. Trust me, mine's fucking crazy. There's all sorts of stuff in my mind.
No, because like this is the thing.
It's because I'm just not one of them people that is just going to sit and be told something and say, oh well, that must be true because that's
no,
what
I
they told
think
me.
I mean, look, Clinton, mashallah, he's reverted to Islam, and he obviously read the Quran. I think, first of all, read through something and like the Quran, for example, and other people, you know, and I would suggest and advise you as well to not just read the Quran if you like reading, especially.
I have got an English translation.
Yeah, and read the Bible, read them all, and it can give you a picture.
Listen, people don't understand people. So I've read the book, and I can get out the book. I've got King James edition. I've got the normal Bible. I've got the Jehovah's Witness Golden Nugget. I've got the Torah. I've got the Quran. I read the Lord of Tao. I read them all. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's because we live in a society where it embraces every religion. So you can't really say I'm Muslim and that's all you've ever practiced, because you might read the Bible and go, praise Jesus, and you go, you know what I'm trying to say? That might be for you. This is what I'm trying to say about religion. It's subjective. Some people are atheists. Some people are agnostic. They don't believe in anything.
Yeah.
They just believe in a creator.
Me,
you get what I mean?
I'm very open-minded to different opinions now. When I look at different religions, I mean, no disrespect to any other religion or any people's beliefs, but you got to think somebody's, like we said, they've written on these tablets and things or whatever, somebody's had a different point of view from somebody somewhere along the line, and it's caused a division. So when you look at religion, if I wanted to get closer to the meaning of life, I'd do something like, what was the first ever religion? And the first ever religion was Buddhism. So it's like if you want to get closer...
Buddhism, it says every time.
Buddhism.
Buddhism.
Buddhism. You know,
not Buddhism.
No, but it's one of them, if you want to get closer to like the meaning of life, you want to be looking at like what Buddhism, like, so then what their theories are. But then again, it's still, that's somebody's different opinion from it. Like Christianity. that was a secret society before it became big. It's just a difference of opinion. Now, I don't know, when I look at religion, I just look at things like each religion, if you look at like the 10 commandments in each religion, all the 10 commandments are pretty much the same.
Or the 5 pillars of Islam.
Yeah, so it's pretty much the same as like the 10 commandments, and it's pretty much the same thing. So it's like most of the theories in religion are exactly the same, but then they've got the twists that are different to other religions.
You know what I do love about obviously the religion, my religion, Islam is, and it's a way of life. It's a guide. It keeps you on the straight and narrow. It keeps you on the price. Because certain things are haram. You have things you can't have, things you can't do, and there's a reason behind it. The thing is, everything you can't do or is bad for you, whatever, has a meaning and a reason behind it.
Yeah.
In the Quran, if it's haram, it's there for a reason, and that reason just makes you realize it's true, it's right.
Well,
if you think about it, if you go astray, of course you can start doing this and that, you know, and that's what you're going against what it says. It's a guide.
Well, Christopher has come
What
up
you
with.
should do on it's called research, and then you make your own mind.
Yeah, Christopher.
Proper mind to it all.
Christopher has got a good point. I'm just going to read it up when it comes back. We've got a ticker on the screen, and it's going to read that ticker, and it says here, the Quran gives you aspects of reality. You have the opportunity to expand upon that and study.
It's kind of like what Bruce Lee says. It's like you take what is useful, you take away what is not, and you make uniquely what's your own.
See, that's what Muslims won't agree with, because then that's innovation. Then we believe like that's kind of into the fire. There's like this. There's so many sects of Islam where they'll create this one where it's closest to like Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Yeah, where that's the sunnah, that's the way you're supposed to do it, and try and be as close to that as you can. Whereas if you're like, I'll take what it says here on a Wednesday, I'll do that on a Tuesday, fuck what it says on a Monday, and I'll do it on a Saturday, I'll just eat chips and eat pork. It's like, yeah, what I'm trying to say. Yeah. It's like you can't do that. You got to follow it the best you can, and then if you can't follow it, don't justify it, but say
you understand that you're doing wrong.
Yeah, but pray that you hopefully one day you can, and that's the way to do it.
And everybody has mistakes, and everybody goes through life and they'll make errors and whatnot, but it's repenting.
It's all a part of life, innit, and learning, innit?
Yeah. But again, I guess if you know, a lot of times when people kind of shun things, it's without knowing about something, and that's it. That's the same with like racism.
Yeah.
It's the fear, realistically, of not knowing a certain race or individual, and instantly think, no, wrong, they're bad or what, and start calling name calling. They're like every single person, me, you, whoever it may be, right? Each person, they're all the same blood, you believe the same, and if you find out, you get to know about their religion, their background, it's interesting. And isn't it great that everybody's different?
Yeah.
Well,
I guess it gives a bit of...
I think it's brilliant.
Depth, but I mean, I don't know, it's like if you think like at the beginning of times, there probably weren't no such thing as religion.
No, there's always a religion.
But everything started from, so like the first ever religion was Buddhism.
Yeah.
Buddhism, whatever. But when did that start?
Not the Buddhism.
So before Buddhism,
Chris, I'm gonna send you. Chris, I'm gonna send.
People used to worship.
I'm gonna send Chris the link so he can jump on if he wants, and we're gonna get him in the window because. Do you know what? I like him to come and express his.
I like to get.
It's good to expand your mind and just like.
Well, no, people used to, follow pagans, statues and whatnot, doing all sorts of things. There was no way of life. There was no, and religion was obviously there to put you in the right path, guidebook.
To give people a guideline.
Yeah, this is what
do you know one thing I don't understand, and I think it's just Christianity that it's done. I think the Bible has been rewritten like 9 times.
Christopher says
that
Muhammad way.
Exactly, there's only one Quran, it's always been the same. That's one thing that I'll always look at, like Islam and like Buddhism, and I keep saying,
oh my God,
I can't help it. It's just
it's got a ring to it now, that you know.
Buddhism.
I'm sure that's what it is. It's Buddhism, not Buddhism.
Buddhism.
Link.
When you say Buddha, it's Buddhism.
I'm gonna send Christopher a link and see if he wants to jump in. He says Muhammad's way was his pathway to walk. We have our journey and the story to write. I might try jump on his thing, I'm gonna send you a link, Chris.
Muhammad was the prophet, weren't it? He was a prophet, weren't he?
Peace
So it
be
was like
upon him.
Jesus was a
Peace be upon
prophet.
the final
Yeah.
message. Yeah, we had a lot of prophets.
Yeah.
There's like so many prophets, it's unbelievable. That's what I'm trying to say. Where people said like, oh, there's 5 prophets. They haven't got a clue.
Do you know, like when I was younger, when I were in school, I just had no interest whatsoever in this type of stuff. But do you know, as you get older,
You understand.
you start to like open your brain up and you think,
because
why
you
is
can
things
grasp
that way?
it more.
Yeah, you can kind of understand it a bit better and understand the reason behind things. But yeah, I'm always open-minded. I wouldn't say I don't follow any particular reason.
Buddhism is like Buddhism, jackass. Yo, Chris, I've sent you.
You know, it's always fascinating. I just love listening to others and how they might
just being open-minded to other people's opinions. It's
Yeah,
like
because
if I could sit in a room with one person from every single religion in the world and just have a conversation about different things and like different opinions, like
follow Mufti Menk
what's that?
on Instagram. Mufti Menk.
Mufti Menk.
Yeah.
That what it's really
Oh
called.
my God.
Mufti Menk.
When you said Mufti Menk, it sounds like someone's dirty pum pum.
Mufti Menk.
Yo,
Mufti
Menk.
Menk.
No.
Start through love, indeed, my brother. Yo, Chris, I've sent you a link, man.
What is it? It's interesting. I'll pop a buzz off.
Select the link, man, and we can jump you on there. We're gonna look to finish it next few minutes, man. But I want to try and get Chris on quickly so he can.
Why did you have to get Chris? What's everyone's view on of obviously when we're coming out of lockdown?
On lockdown.
Yeah. Lockdown, you put the lockdown.
So I've read a book on lockdown called The Great Reset. I haven't read it completely, but I've read that.
Yeah, but before you continue, have you noticed Tesla's invested 1.5 billion into cryptocurrency, Bitcoin?
Because he believes that there's going to be a Great Reset.
Yeah. It's going to happen. I mean, this Great Reset.
I invested as well, just to kind of keep it there, just in case something happens. And what
I
you
think
know,
that is going
profits,
to
by
be
the
the
way.
future. That is going to be the future.
In profit already?
Is it profit already?
Paper
So
money as
I'm
you know
happy.
it, they're definitely going to get rid of that.
I mean, it's one of them things, innit? It's like if there's someone like Elon Musk investing in it, he's not stupid. He's got the heads up. He knows what's going to happen. Not like knows, only God knows what's going to happen. But he's got a better insight to what's going to happen because he's up there with wealth and he's got $1 billion company.
And
He's got a lot of advisors, what know, and with it, he can influence cryptocurrency
100%.
with his investments. Do you know what I mean?
That's a major hype movement for crypto, especially Bitcoin. Big boost.
Bitcoin, yeah.
It ain't Bitcoin anymore, it's Bitcoin. The way things are moving. You know, you have these other ones. But you're not going to compete with the likes of Bitcoin, are you?
Yeah.
Mad.
So as who would you say at the moment? You say Elon Musk is up there with the richest people in the world. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
I don't.
I
See,
think
this is the thing.
No, I think so, man.
No,
It depends what you
no.
call rich, though.
So this is what I'm trying to
What do you
explain.
define as rich?
I'll explain it to someone, yeah. All you people that believe the people that you read on media are the richest people, you're puppets, mate. So hear what they're puppets. The people who create the money, who own the Federal Reserve and the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, the people who own the institutions, that's who are the richest people in the world. If you don't realise that, you need to do your history, do your studies, and see who runs the planet. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
You said one of the richest.
No, like.
They are one of the richest, and it defines what do you call define as rich.
Yeah.
For me, rich is
Well, that
you got
1%,
millions, you're rich.
That 1%
I mean,
is always going to be in the background, so they're never going to really like truly like full on
I think when you go over a certain amount, it's just junk money, isn't it? Like, come on, what are you gonna do with it?
Yeah, exactly. You can't take it.
You know what I
fucking
mean?
grave.
You can't do anything.
You can't do nothing when
you
you're
will
dead.
always die in this dunya. Always. You will. In the end, you're nothing. In the end, you'll die with the same grave
Can't
on the
spend it
ground,
up in heaven.
and that
or
money
hell.
is gone.
You know what I mean?
Simple as that. So there's a certain limit. Yeah, you can live through and enjoy it, whatever. But if you have all that kind of, at least give to the needy, at least give to poor people. I think, alright, some people might argue, yeah, but they didn't make it, but they maybe not been fortunate to have the opportunity to make it, or maybe their mind wasn't capable of making that kind of money. What you could do is help them. If you have enough money and you could help somebody, why not? Why not?
So,
You don't want to go on like an Oxfam advert, but seriously, you know what I mean? But I'm not asking you to give £2 a month and that sort of stuff, you know. But
it makes
you
you
should
work-
give.
It makes you,
I think you should give. If you don't give to the needy or charity or anything as such,
yeah. I definitely believe that. That's
have a
one
look at yourself really. Like if you've got money, obviously if you don't and you ain't capable of, if you can see where the money affects you, if you give a certain amount, then okay, I'm not saying it. But obviously if you have money which somebody could take from your account and you won't even notice, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my view anyway. That's my opinion.
So we're going to end it there. I don't want to go on any longer than that because it's an hour and 25 minutes. We should have finished on an hour, but we've extended 25 minutes because we was having a good time.
Can't hold back good conversation, man.
No, I'm not trying to say we're a bad conversation, bro. We're good, excellent conversation, but
yeah, guys, just to finish, obviously I'm here, and obviously I know we moved on to different topics and stuff we want to talk about. We started with the TV and film. If you do want to get involved in that, and you want some support help, I've always been there. Because one thing I didn't get is I didn't get any help. I had to find my ways, and I'm still progressing. But if you need help in that little stepping stone, so experience or whatever that might be, because what I'd like to do in the future, you asked me about 5 years thing, didn't you?
Yeah.
Obviously long term, maybe 5 years, maybe a bit more. I'd love to have my own training facility open, which is available to people where I can train and get them involved in that and have that open up that little access where in this kind of industry is closed. But if you do want to get on and follow me, I'm always more than happy to help. I do my own stuff anyway, especially during this lockdown. I've been prepping and getting my own things. I'm going to expand on that. Follow whatever, get on my social page, drop me a message or ask Clint to pass on the details or whatnot. And I can help you, I can advise you to the best of my knowledge, maybe bring you on, gain you some experience. I have done that anyway with who I work. I know it's trickier now during the COVID times, but we are going to pass that.
Yeah.
Advice is always there, isn't it?
Yeah, of course,
So
don't we?
definitely.
And may you be rewarded for that, bro. Jordan, have you got anything you want to say before we finish?
Like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, man. I like that. So, as respect for that, thank you, bro. Jordan, respect for that.
Yeah, man.
And as from me, as always, peace and blessings and the mercy of God be on every one of you. Bless up.
So.